We think we know it. Yeah. Hello, hello, hello. We are live. Nobody here. Nobody here.
Live, but are we alive?
I ain't got nobody watching. Mhm. Could be short or it could be, not happening at all.
So I guess we could just talk about.
Yeah, let's do that.
We were.
Let's entertain ourselves. I mean, for the Islander, I was a bit nervous at first, you know, considering we have Royal to compare it to and Carnival to compare it to already, and the fact that they don't have an app, you wonder, okay, you get used to certain things, right? And then in this digital age, where wait, I don't have something to look at on my phone. But I think overall, they're going to get there. In the seminars, that I attend once a month, they say they're going to have an app. But right now, the travel agent portal is the priority. But I would expect sometime next year that the app will be out. But
I'm just waiting for you to
I'm done.
finish all the way through your thought because I feel like the lack of the app
Yeah.
and what the app allows a sailor / customer, whatever we're considered on Margaritaville, to be much more connected with what's going on around the ship. And it's certainly much easier for the ship to communicate things when
Sure.
something changes. I know a lot of the complaints, I don't think it affected us all that much because we weren't looking for activities, kind of throughout the day, hour by hour. But if you're doing all of that and there's scheduled times for them and then they change them after they've printed out the, daily schedule that you get in your room, which is the same thing you could access online, then everything, all the times are wrong. So people are showing up in the wrong places. The information they have is wrong. And, an app would fix those kind of problems in a second.
Sure.
And also allow people to plan their day much more effectively. So,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if we're looking at it, let's maybe start at like embarkation day. I thought that was pretty good, except that there seemed to be a little bit of confusion if you didn't buy that. I can't remember the name of the one package, but it was like an express, some sort of express package that included food and drink. Um,
wait,
Getting on Margaritaville when we got up into the building, we got into the correct line. We went around, and then there was a woman who seemed to be confused on which line we were supposed to be in since we only bought the express package. It was just about getting on the ship faster. We didn't buy the one that contained the food and the drink. They didn't have that line distinguished. Remember, you pointed out that our tags said zone 4, and they were telling us to go down zone 3.
Okay, so that they you just completed 3 different parts of that trip.
Did I?
Yeah. So zone 4 and zone 3 were when we got off the plane in Tampa, and the stewardess told us we'd pick up our bags on zone 3.
No.
Yes, and
Well, that was another part.
Zone 4.
But that was another part. But
nothing to do with zones. But go ahead.
No, when we got to the terminal, the cruise terminal, and you remember at the bottom of our tickets it said luggage zone 4.
No, I didn't say anything about zones.
Yeah, it said zone 4 for luggage. But when we got up, and they told us, if we had early embarkation, we needed to get in this one line, but the line was labeled zone 3. That part was a little confusing to me.
I don't even remember that part.
Yeah, I think I still have the tickets. I can.
Yeah, because trust me, if any of that had even like stuck in my brain when we went through the whole, it would have like jogged my memory because we had just come from the whole zone 3, zone 4
Yeah,
term, baggage claim 3 versus 4 issue there. So I don't even think I realized that was.
I mean, and then the
Yeah.
woman seemed to be a little confused in which line we were supposed to be in.
Well, yeah.
And then the people who
I felt like that
also
kind of
had
happened a
priority
few
on the one
times.
side were being held up, and then we were let through, and that part was a little confusing.
I feel like that happened a couple times throughout
Yeah,
that process
I
until
mean,
we
minor. I think that was minor as far as we were concerned. It might have gotten worse later, but I'm not
Well, I was
sure.
gonna say we got there pretty early, right?
Yeah, we got there quarter of 10
Okay,
because our Lyft driver showed up 15 minutes early.
right. And so I'm thinking since we've got on kind of ahead of another large group of passengers, and it got later in the day when people get there late, and so on and so forth. It might have just gone rather smoothly because there wasn't a ton of people yet. I could see
Yeah,
where that could have gotten really hectic and really crazy if it continued as confused and you know they'd make a decision, do the lines one way, and then redecide and change it, and everybody's trying to figure
right.
it out.
Yeah,
Like if that continued to that level of confusion later in the process, when why? Because I
it's
knew
all the way over there.
my hands.
Keep them
I
confined.
need like a
They don't.
whole circle.
Okay.
But if that continued throughout the day, didn't kind of get settled as they were kind of figuring it out, I could see that where that could have gotten really crazy and frustrating.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, I don't think it was that big a deal.
We do have one person watching. Hello, one person. Thanks for tuning in.
100%.
But yeah, I mean, when we got up to the counter and we, checking our passports and all that, and then they get the credit card information again there. Um, I thought, an app could help speed that process up, like you were talking about. Um, and that's what we do for,
With embarkation?
with embarkation, because with Carnival and Royal, we can put all that information in ahead of time. So when we get to where they're checking that information
Mhm.
for them, it's okay. Okay, you're good. It's a matter of literally a couple seconds to verify everything matches, and you're gone. They don't
Right.
have to input. Let's see. There we go. Purvis 1993. We had a great boarding experience. We had the express pass. Okay, same here. We arrived at the same time, but they let us right through. We
Oh,
were
good.
seated about
Okay.
10:20 at the buffet. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
almost identical to ours.
So it sounds like things
Yep.
continued
So that's
to,
good. I'm glad that continued. I
yeah.
think we were it was 10:17 when I looked at my watch when we were gonna kind of do a lap through the casino.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, we didn't actually go up to eat until later, but good. I'm glad to hear that was your experience as well. Did by chance we get to meet you when we were on the ship?
Mm.
We met so many amazing people. I can remember their faces, but when it comes to names, forget it. It's my fatal flaw there.
Um, I don't think it's going to kill
It
you.
might. You never know.
Mm.
Oh, you didn't remember me? Come on.
Let's not start predicting something like that. Thank you.
Let's see. Okay, the cheeseburgers, hands down, were better than guys. I agree. I mean, I know people are going to
Okay.
argue with me about that when we put out that video, but to me, the burger was seasoned better, had way more flavor. I'm good with just the toppings that they offered. I didn't need 100 different
Mhm.
toppings. Um,
I honestly felt like it tasted like higher quality meat. Probably, yeah. me hoping it was, but
Shook your hand. Lucky from the. Oh, awesome. Okay, good. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, yeah, back to the cheeseburger. I mean, the fries are just whatever. I think no matter where you go. Um, these were more seasoned, I think, and not overly salt. That last batch that we had on Carnival that one day were just nothing but salt.
yeah. Well, the first batch, I don't know. I think you had cheeseburger in paradise a couple times.
We had it twice, I think.
Oh, did
Well,
you
I
only get it
did. I had
twice?
twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
The second time you got it, I know the fries were a lot better, but they were fresh, and you said they were
Yeah,
just
they
fresh
were fresh. Yeah. I guess that really makes a difference.
And yeah, it does. I mean, that's anybody's French fries are going to be better when they've just been pulled out and seasoned. So, I'm trying to think of.
You know,
You can talk about the casino if you want to.
yeah, I
It was
mean,
like a
that's an
topic.
interesting story. I'd like to see if we get a few more people in here before I bring that one up. But I mean, let's talk about our balcony cabin. We had a Wakeview balcony cabin. The room itself, the cabin was fantastic. You know, our room steward, Komang,
Yeah.
thank you, sir, for taking great care of us. Uh, we had lots of good conversations with him, and definitely appreciated his hard work. He went above and beyond, and I heard that through a lot of different from a lot of different people, that was their same experiences. That a lot of the staff were going above and beyond, and that's
Yeah.
really good to hear because it makes or breaks a cruise often. Of course, there's some people who don't always have that good experience, and hopefully those were taken care of right away. Um, and hopefully it doesn't deter you from cruising in general. Because our overall experience so far on everything we've done has been amazing. You will always have a hiccup, I think, whatever you do, but I think it really how you roll with those hiccups makes a
Oh,
big
yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
But getting back to our cabin was beautiful. I think for us, at least my opinion, with the Wakeview balcony cabin, I probably wouldn't book that again though. I mean, just for the sheer fact that it's always in the sun. I want to go out there. You like being in the sun as much as you do, but I have to say, you were sitting out there that one day in the sun for maybe 15 minutes, and you were drenched when you came in.
But that has everywhere that you're going to sit on the sun on your ship. I mean, that's Caribbean, close to the equator kind of.
Yeah, you were
Sun.
baking.
Oh, I mean, yeah. And I kind of, like I said, I kind of enjoyed the fact that I could have been sitting back in the shade of the balcony.
Yeah.
We did have a shaded area of the balcony, and
Even it
full of
was
sun.
small, but it was
Yeah.
there. And
But
then
it did heat up. I mean, they could have made everybody happy probably by just putting some of the film on the glass windows to keep the sun from heating up the window so much.
So we had to keep the curtain
Yeah.
drawn the entire time, or it would have really heated up the
Yeah.
cabin.
And the balcony felt very much like the deck up above.
Top. Yeah, it got really, really hot.
Yeah.
Which we haven't experienced heat like that
No.
on any surface of any other cruise ship we've been on.
Like, it's ouchy, don't touch it.
Yeah, I mean, watching people run from spot to spot because they, didn't have anything on their feet.
Well, and then
I wouldn't be
realizing
surprised if some people ended up with third-degree burns if you stood there for too long.
Well, and then realizing that that's how our balcony felt too. It's just I'm so used to always keeping these things that I have on right now, that kind of padded
Yeah.
slides. Yeah, that I don't even stop to think about the whole barefoot thing. But when I was sitting out there for a little while and got super hot, you pointed out that I was like dripping.
You were.
And
Jeez.
I went to come in. I went to step down, or bring my legs down first onto the balcony without the slide. And yeah, it was not a pleasant experience. So, but other than that, I actually liked that balcony room. I didn't mind the little bits of soot because they can be wiped off.
Yeah.
If you really want
But,
to.
it's a good thing to know ahead of time before you book a cabin like that. So that way you can expect it.
And that's what I think is more important. I
Yeah.
think it's kind of important for them to maybe let people know that it's, full sun exposure, maybe partial shade, or they do something to explain that, because I do think a lot of people who are used to booking balcony rooms do expect what we're used to having, which is a balcony that's in full shade, even though
Yeah.
you're getting to look out on
Yeah.
everything sunny. And for somebody who, does not want to have to be in the sun when they go out on their balcony, they they might not ever want to sit out on that balcony.
Right. And really the only added benefit you get to that cabin, well, with that cabin, is access to the Islander dining menu, which I think combined we maybe 3 times we ordered off of it.
Oh, I think but one of us ordered at least one thing, if not a couple things off of it every night.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think what
It
I
didn't seem
kind
like all
of
that much, honestly, but
that benefit wasn't a huge deal to me, honestly. What I kind of like, though, people talk about kids being on ships. I don't mind kids being on ships
yeah,
around
I don't
us. I mean,
either.
they
Yeah.
bring me joy just seeing them discover things and be happy and that kind of stuff. But I will say what is nice is where our cabin sat, because it is a wake view. You're
The foot
tucked back.
traffic. Is it getting in?
There, yes.
Yeah, the foot
You
traffic.
rarely get. I think one time we heard kids kind of racing through.
Yeah.
And it was in the middle of the day. It wasn't, any time that it was disruptive. Other than that, it was so quiet back there as far as the hall and hearing doors and, people walking past. And I kind of like that, and kind of feeling like
Yeah.
you're walking back to kind of what feels like an upgraded,
Secluded
private,
area. Yeah.
area, even though it wasn't,
Right. Lucky, what kind of experience did you guys have with your cabin and stuff? Did you have any really, did you have any negative experiences or things that you would like to see improved next time? Let's see. For me, I thought my food for the most part was really good on everything I had, except for breakfast. The buffet breakfast, yeah, I could just leave that. Except for the Mexican cutie breakfast burrito was very good. I enjoyed that. Um, I thought we were going to have opposite experiences at first because the first night you were just kind of like your food was okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Was the first night was the chicken, right? The
Yeah.
half chicken, quarter chicken, whatever it's
Yep.
called. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. It was okay, literally just. But I forget what you had. You like
I had that pasta with the shrimp. It was like a garlic and
is it your appetizer or your entree?
um thought that was my entree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
But the
remember.
one night I ordered 2 appetizers. I was gonna
Oh my
skip the
gosh.
main and then just have a dessert. Well, the appetizer, which was um now I'm blanking on it.
You had not gumbo.
Yes,
Was it gumbo?
yeah, the gumbo. That's it. Thank you. I ordered the gumbo. They gave me a giant
Yeah.
bowl of it. I'm like, okay, that's gonna feed 4 people. So I mean, I ate what, a third of it maybe, and I was like, okay, that's good. I want to take it back to the cabin. And so I asked our assistant waiter, Rabalito, hey, can I have a lid so I can take this back? And he's like, oh, absolutely. I'll just bring you a whole new plate. No, no, I don't need that much. But he was insistent. I'll give you a new plate and make it fresh. It'll be cold by the time. Well, the other one will be cold too.
Right.
but,
And then
but
what did he do? He brought back a serving that was all of it,
plus some.
like twice the original size, and it was all new. Like you
Yeah.
tell, they just scrapped everything. It's like, and there's no way at that point you can say no. Take this. I don't want all
Right.
of this. What am I gonna do with all of this food that I can't eat up? But he took it back, and I think you had a couple bites, but no.
Yeah, I didn't. I was still so full from
I feel like that's also the night they just randomly brought us the
the fried fish,
fried.
the fried seafood platter.
Yeah, well, seafood and veggies.
The
A lot
seafood,
of it
yeah.
was veggies. That's the
Yeah.
first time I've ever had zucchini and liked it.
Yep.
Ever.
Yep.
And I didn't gag, so.
Let's see. Who do we still have on board with us? Is that Lucky still? Say hello.
Not new where you are.
Our audience of one. But overall, I mean, I think it was a good cruise.
Yeah.
Um, we were definitely looking at it from two different perspectives. We're trying to get the client type perspective, and then the travel agent type perspective. So we were trying to live in two different worlds
Right.
simultaneously, which can take away from enjoying certain experiences more than others. But
Well, and I think when we kept coming back to price point, I think that's what always kind of settled things.
yeah,
When we were comparing this or that, or talking about, was it worth giving this up for that? The reality was where they fall short or they need to maybe tighten things up, or you hope maybe they'll get more high tech or formal or whatever you want to say. But you compare the price point differences between that versus ships that are going to do that. It it's kind of apples and oranges.
right,
You're still going to get an
right,
amazing cruise for a decent length of time, lots of ports.
yep,
There's nothing wrong with the food, even if it's not the top gourmet experience maybe some people have on other ships. It's certainly decent food. Um, and there's enough variety. I don't think anybody could possibly, lose their mind trying to restrict themselves to the onboard opportunities for eating. So
Well, thank you for listening. Now, this was kind of we got off the ship and said, let's try and make sure we do a live. That way we can follow up.
yeah,
If anybody has any stories they want to add, we are more than welcome to listen. If you've got something that you want to share, please do. Trying to think. I might as well go ahead and tell my casino story.
yeah. I was going to say that's
Yeah.
probably, yeah. I think Lucky would probably like to hear that one.
So when we got on, well, prior to getting on the ship, I had been in communication with Margaritaville at Sea, their casino specialist from corporate. Lined it up that we could have a slot pool and make sure we touch base with the casino host when we got on board. Maybe they could help with something, which absolutely fine. Don't have any issues with that. So when we did get on board, we had to wait a while before the casino host was in, um, well, was open for business, so to speak, and they had a little bit of line, so I stood in line uh, to where you can get your players club. So you need your players club if you're going to participate in the rewards program the casino is offering. It's all been revamped. The program itself sounds amazing. The fact that you can just start playing right away, and while you're playing, your drinks are free, but only if a server comes around to get your drink. You can't go up to the bar and get a drink for free. It has to be through a server, which is fine. They need a few more servers. Katoot was taking good care of us when we were playing, but prior to all of that, we sat down the first time we got into the casino and we started playing, and I had permission to film our gameplay as well as the slot pool and stuff like that.
And permission from
The casino host.
right. So
Uh,
not just somebody random or someone not related to the casino,
yep,
from the head of it himself,
yep,
basically.
yep. And so we were like, great, fine. We always ask because some places frown upon it, and we could totally respect that. If we're filming and another cruiser doesn't want to be involved, then we respect that too. We don't want to make anybody
And
uncomfortable.
generally, when you're filming, it's whether it's us trying to do it or
It's
anything you're seeing on TV, it's you're only on the machine you're on.
right,
So it's not,
exactly. Right. So we started doing that, and we were about 5 minutes into our gameplay. If it wasn't all
if,
that long,
yeah.
and there is a guy who comes up behind us, and at the time I wasn't sure who he was. We later on figured out that he was a slot tech. But you
Oh,
said
yeah.
you saw him working on machines, but we knew he was a casino, someone who
Well, that's
worked
what
in the
he did
casino.
right behind us when he was giving us a raft. It was while he was doing stuff on the machine.
Yeah, he just came up and said, "What are you doing? Are you recording?" And we're like, Yeah, we are. We have permission from the casino host to do so." And he's like, "No, you don't. You can't record." And he's being rather loud and abrasive with it. And we were just like, "Wait a minute, whoa, we have?" And I said who we had permission from, and he's like, "No," stopped and just kind of stormed off. So, not knowing who he was, we turned off and stopped recording again.
We are rules followers.
Yeah, we want to be respectful. Maybe he was someone higher up than the casino host we spoke to. I didn't know at the time. Long story short, I'm horrible at storytelling. Sorry. We've come to find out that that particular casino tech or slots tech has a kind of an abrasive personality.
Which we already knew. They didn't need to tell us.
Yeah, but the casino host, because I went back and revisited with him, because I wanted to address it with him personally before I took my complaint to guest services. Try to respect the chain of command type thing. And he said, "No, sir, you absolutely can record. We have no problems with that. We just, if a customer or a fellow cruiser might have an issue with it, we ask that you respect their privacy as well." I said, "Absolutely, without a doubt, we will respect that." But we never did go back to recording because it just left a really bad taste in my mouth. And the fact that some of the games were just lackluster. They were old, out of date. Some of the machines didn't work properly. Some weren't labeled with the bets and stuff. So they do have a lot to still fix with the casino itself. They need some updating, but I believe they're on the right track.
I think my biggest concern was the fact that the furniture was so large,
Yeah.
and the areas between the machines, especially on the one side, were so narrow that anyone who has any mobility issues, period, was going to have a hard time getting through. If you aren't medium to small size person, you might have a hard time getting through. If you need any kind of mobility assistance at all, be it a cane or a walker or anything really, it's probably impossible to get through. And that just bothers me on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
A casino is not easily accessible throughout at least the majority of it.
Yeah, could you imagine the slot pool that we hosted, or the two different slot pools that we hosted on the Pride, trying to do that in that same area where we tried?
Well, we wouldn't.
We only had 6 people with the one that we first hosted. And when the Pride, we had one that had 20 and then one that had 30
Right.
people. I couldn't even imagine trying to do all that back there.
Groups, we had a couple people who had mobility issues.
Right.
I mean, that even in the spaces we were in then that were much larger and more possible. I mean, the one gentleman kind of had to give up and just have someone else, and every time a turn changed because it was too difficult to kind of try to maneuver through. And that was in a wider space, and I can't even imagine having attempted that in this space.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, you can't have everything. I get it. The furniture is very nice. It was nice furniture.
It's comfortable too.
And it's comfortable.
But it's just too big and occupied too much space. Yeah, I agree. But talking with, Kenneth,
who's amazing,
casino host, from South Africa, great guy, who was willing to listen, converse with us and treat us like everyday people. And I got nothing bad to say about the man.
We are everyday people, but
Yeah, but still. But when you get used to seeing, the turnover from cruises, people tend to.
Right. Well, he treated us, really you, which you are, but he was clear that you're memorable. And, that was clear that he remembered the conversations
Big, fat, white, bald guy. Stick out like a sore thumb.
No, not unless you make your head a lot more red.
No, I make sure I cover my head when we're in the sun, so not to get that. But obviously, we're willing to go back. We've got the group cruise plan. So if you're interested in getting that information, it's a 7 night. And it's going to be August 15th through 22nd. It's going to Jamaica, Grand Caymans, and back to Cozumel. The prices are really good. It comes with all the taxes, port fees, gratuities are already included in the price. Plus, you're going to get free basic Wi-Fi, and then you're going to get $25 onboard credit per person, up to 2 people. So if you're interested, I've got the posting over on our Facebook page, our Monkey Love Facebook page. So be sure to check that out. I'm just waiting for them to give me the cabin assignments, so I can start taking the deposits on those. That's a special sailing because most of their sailings are 5-day.
I'm gonna say, what kind of cabins are they?
I've got mainly breezy balcony cabins, but I also have ocean view and interior. But mainly breezy balcony. That's what it seemed like everybody wanted.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay.
you wanted to mention the email for the review,
Oh, the survey?
the survey, yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't a huge fan of the fact that, we have one cabin, we're a couple, 2 people, we get one survey, and all the other lines we've gotten 2 surveys, one for each of us. And also it frustrated us because you get it well ahead of 5 o'clock, right? Or they tell you you're going to get it by 5 o'clock. I can't remember.
Yeah.
The night before.
Yep.
And they really want it completed and submitted
Before you leave the ship.
and kind of as soon as possible, if doable. They remind you to not forget to mention, the folks that really made your trip special, that kind of stuff. But then there's a whole section for disembarkation, which you haven't gone through yet if you're doing it at 5 o'clock the night before and trying to submit it before you get off the ship. And there was no way to kind of, submit, save copy of progress made and submit that, or, wait so you can kind of save that.
Right.
So it registers that you completed it up to a certain point, and then you can complete the rest of it after you get off the ship. That's just kind of, and then to only have one of them for both of us when we both did have individual experiences.
Exactly right.
And they would have gotten different responses from us on things, which to me is a more genuine ask.
Correct.
Because you should
Yeah,
really
I
want to
agree.
know how at least each person that is of age and, financially responsible, your data,
Yep.
just as in a business sense, you would think you would want that data. So
I agree. Yeah. So yeah, that's I think that's some things an app would help with as well.
yeah,
Yep. Being able to
better
submit that.
tech
Yeah.
connection.
They'll get there again. The announcement of the official name of the third ship was this week. The Beachcomber. We kind of all knew that if you're following any of the other Facebook page, the fans of the Islander and now the fans of the Beachcomber. People were doing investigations and they saw that the copyright filing had gone into place for Beachcomber, so you just kind of knew that's what the
Cruise news web sleuth.
right.
There's a niche for everything, right?
Yep.
Or a niche.
And then remember the evidence that I showed you a while back about where I believe that they're going to be out of Galveston.
Yeah. Nope.
No.
Nope. Don't do it. Don't do it.
What?
No. Don't.
No. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking
Okay.
about the evidence that I found that
Okay.
makes me
Just
believe.
don't.
Yeah,
Okay.
makes me believe that it's going to be Galveston.
Okay.
Because when I was searching for gotcha. When I was searching for other things at the Galveston, you can go to the Galveston cruise terminal and you can see a schedule what's on there, and they have the schedule filled out for almost a year out. So I was going
What?
through it, huh?
A schedule of what?
Of ships that will be sailing out of Galveston.
Okay.
And you can practically see a full year of it.
Right.
So I was looking in November, December of 2026, and I saw Margaritaville at Sea. Now, it didn't have a ship name attached to it, but if you're looking at the other schedules from Tampa and stuff, and where Paradise is, th-
You
they
can
certain
confirm the schedules for both the Islander and the
yeah,
Paradise
yep,
from those
we're
ports.
both out of Florida.
So the fact that there's any Margaritaville ship showing up at a third port
Yep,
has to be a connection.
yep, and it's since been taken down.
What? What
That information, the Galveston port, because it
when
started
was it
making.
up?
Remember
What do you mean?
when I found it on the schedule?
Oh, they altered the schedule?
They've just removed
Oh,
them from.
I'm sorry, too little, too late, duh. I kind of, yep, you stubbed your toe. You can't unstub your toe. Just let it throb, deal with the pain, and ice it so the pain doesn't get worse.
Oh, okay. That's a room attendant offered his phone to do the survey, but of course we did not want to. Yeah, I wouldn't do that either, honestly.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
But
hopefully he was genuine in why he was
maybe if
offering,
they
but
didn't have anything digital of their own as a way for them to complete it,
yeah,
because they don't have that, if they don't have a phone or a tablet or anything on board, you assume that everybody travels with cell phones and digital
right,
material.
yeah, yeah. I definitely wouldn't do that either. Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm saying I can understand from the room attendant's perspective of if they have no way to complete it on board, you know what I mean?
yeah.
They're just trying to offer an avenue to do that. But it's still, and unfortunately, I don't think it's probably even a completely proper.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
think
so
I don't
either.
know what the, again, we're not employees of the room attendant section of Margaritaville or any other employees in that way. But I know there are some cruise lines where they're not even supposed to even mention any of it. Like, shame on them if they even mention a survey.
Right.
And I know it kind of goes all the way down to, oh, it's fine to encourage the survey, so on and so forth. But still having, if it's your personal device. Now, if it's a work device that they have, that they're being given, well, yeah, sure. Then it's just a portable device that gives people access. So I think that would be kind of important to know if it was their personal device, personal.
And he's saying they had phone and laptop, so yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, it does sound fishy, but hopefully it was just out of, hopefully he was just trying to be sincere and helpful.
hopefully.
If hope, yeah.
And I do know as we're learning, not like it was shocking, but we keep getting confirmed how critical those surveys and being named personally and
Yeah,
I really don't like when even the directors are advising people to give tens, because if you don't give a 10, that means you won't recommend us again.
yeah. That's
No,
no.
that's not, to me, that is crazy talk. If you get a 10, that means nothing can improve, then you might as well just stop breathing air,
Yeah,
because
that's almost like guilting you into
right. And to
no.
me, no, a 10 means that you are a perfect, premier,
And
spotless,
there's
and
no room for
yeah,
improvement.
that's just crazy. And I don't know why you'd expect it. I can see, looking for an 8 or a 9. And you might rate things a 7, but it doesn't mean you wouldn't recommend them to somebody else, which I thought was a crazy thing to kind of connect. That just because you won't give them a 10, it means you wouldn't recommend them to someone. That's just silly too.
Yeah, yeah.
Here, don't go to
And
this.
you said that as soon as Orlando said that up on
On the
stage.
video. Well, it's on the video that I think we watched. Maybe it was on stage.
Well, it was on stage too. And you went, and you were just taken aback by it, and like, no.
And that comes from a perfectionist who used to think if she didn't get 100%, she was failing something.
Yeah, because he says,
No.
a 10 is, perfect. That's what we want. A 9, it might as well be a 0.
Right.
No, sorry.
That's great for when things are completely objective. But when you are rating, surveys, ratings are subjective by their very titles, and certainly by their process, and certainly by the outcomes in which you want. And if you're trying to tell people that The only way one thing matches the other. So I would recommend this to a friend, and my overall score, a 10 is going to have to, no, that's just crazy.
So it's just like saying 10 is passing, 9 is failing.
Right. And no, if your window for failure is that small, you're not going to last very long.
Yeah.
So that I just thought was silly. I understand the emotion behind it, but
And I
get
can
real.
understand the crew, the staff, needing those good reviews to further their careers. I totally respect that and understand that.
To me, that's the comments that also help bring
Yeah.
that up.
Yeah.
And even if I'm not saying that, I believe that we gave our room a 10, because I really can't think of anything he could have done differently or better.
No, he went above and beyond.
Right.
So,
but that doesn't mean as across the board and as a cruise line and experience completely. And the sentiment that was said, and I think what I picked up was on the video was, remember, give him a 10, because if you don't give him a 10, that means you wouldn't recommend him.
And there was plenty of things we scored as 10s, but there were several things we scored as 7s. So we were being honest with our review, and I hope everybody else is honest with their review, because it lets them know there are areas for improvement, which is what they need to hear.
And that is every cruise line.
Absolutely.
I cannot imagine ever giving Royal a 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, nowhere to improve, nor Carnival. Certainly not Carnival.
That's when they stop making an effort if they're getting all 10s all the time. Oh, we're good. We don't need to do anything else. No.
I mean, if you invite me on your ship as some ethereal guest for some reason, I'm saying ethereal because that's what would have to be happening for me to be invited in that manner. And it's some red carpet rollout, then I should be having some amazing beyond experience. But otherwise, they're ships. As lately things in the news have kind of reminded everybody, they are floating cities for the time you're on them, and you are in the wild west of waters. In some degree, 12 miles away. You're in international law. Things change. They're not. They have the same safety issues that any large city or small city where everyone together is going to have. I mean, yes, you would expect certain behavior for people who are on the ship on vacation, but it's still a lot of people. You don't know most of the people you're sailing with. You have to kind of expect that you have a lot of personal responsibility for your own actions, your own behavior, your own consequences, your own conduct, your own rule following, your own participation in things, all of that, just like you would expect to be anywhere else. So, sorry, that's a little rant, and I've just been feeling the need to kind of put that out there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's where it needs to go.
But I think Margaritaville had wonderful spaces on the ship. I thought they had a lot of the entertainment. To me, was really fantastic for the class of ship.
Absolutely, I think it was above.
Or Carnival, similar.
I was just blown by
I wasn't even that motivated to see them.
No, you weren't.
Because I thought, well, I am so glad that we did.
Yep.
Because
I was a little confused about the aerial stuff on the first
show.
The first show. I mean, it was very good. Don't get me wrong. It was very good. They're talented. They're very impressive. I was just kind of how does it tie together? But in the Caribbean heat, when they did it, it tied in well. I was that made sense. But again, they're all very talented, all great singers. Yeah.
Dancers. It was a fantastic choreography. It was very well rehearsed and executed.
Yep.
That was amazing.
So
very impressed.
I'm anxious to see what they're gonna do for the Beachcomber and the talent and the shows they're gonna be putting together there.
And that one's larger again.
That one's a bigger ship, almost by 1,000 passengers. It'll have, I think they said, 12 additional venues on top of the current ones that they have, like on the Islander. Yeah, so who knows? Maybe we can get on the inaugural for that one. That would be pretty cool.
It would be.
Yeah.
And especially
so Margaritaville, if you listen to this, Lucky, get on Get on them. Tell them to.
What is this?
I'm pointing.
Get on what? What are you pointing to?
Tell them we want to be on the inaugural.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that would definitely be cool.
Yeah, very cool. Let's see. So yeah, obviously we're gonna go back on the ship.
Yep.
I don't believe we'll get much in the way of casino offers just because we chose not to do our typical gambling. But it's sheer fact that,
We just were not getting a whole lot of
yeah,
responsiveness from the
correct.
machines and the gambling experience.
Yep, I felt like the return to player was set rather low to kind of keep you engaged to the machine, or it could just been our experience at that time. But a lot of people were saying the same thing.
I think it also depends on how long you want to commit to sitting in. We tend to like that kind of daily budget kind of
Right.
thing. Some people, I mean, if you've got the whole budget and you're willing to front load all of it in, maybe it's worth all of that. But
and then the fact that there are only 2 ships right now, it would make the offers very limited. And since we live in Maryland, we have to fly there, and we're not going to fly down for anything less than a 5-day. So
and 10 months of the year,
right,
5 days are incredibly challenging for us.
Yep. So
and I don't want to be gone the entire 2 months, other 2 months, because
we have a granddaughter, and no, we don't really care about the kids. But I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, but we have all of our family still. We're blessed because they're all still pretty close, and we still get to spend time with them. That may not always be the case, but while it is, I want to kind of cherish it and
absolutely
take advantage of it.
Unless we can get them to come on the cruise with us.
Well, I'm also talking about my parents. Of course, then they tend to wander back down to Florida. Not wander. That didn't sound right.
I know.
Back
We know
down to Florida.
And, snowbird down there.
Yeah. So we tend to end up down there otherwise ourselves. Also.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much the full rundown for me.
I do wish we had gotten up to do like the golf /
the one time we were up there, it was busy.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
The other time that I went up, I guess they had it closed off or something. Maybe it was just too windy or something.
Maybe.
I mean, it is a very windy part of the ship to have something like that anyway.
Well, I didn't think the cornhole, the combined one, was bad.
No, but the putt, it just blowing. The wind just blowing your ball away.
Yeah, exactly. The pools for me
were overcrowded.
There was nothing wrong with the pools, but it was impossible to get unless you were a seat stalker, which we are not. Will never be.
Yeah.
And we don't care because being right up alongside the pools never been super important to us, if ever. What's nice is to be able to have something that's at least overlooks the pool or something, so you can lay out, wander down to the pool, and not trek halfway across the ship to do it, and feel like you can still hear what's going on entertainment wise and so on and so forth. That was really not possible for us.
Right.
Past cruise.
Yeah, no.
Again, we're not the type who are going to go out at 6:30 a.m. to try to snatch up chairs. Or
I mean,
whatever,
I'm there. I could, but I'm not going to do it.
Well, yeah, because we wouldn't be down. Because we're not people who also, eat early and come sit in the sun from 9 a.m. on either.
Right.
So, so that part to me was a little bit frustrating because we really never. I don't think we did the toe in the pool.
Nope.
Or even a hot tub. And
nope.
I don't think the hot tubs looked all that overcrowded. There was lots of times going back and forth and through that I was like, oh, we were in our bathing suit, or we were doing this.
The one night after Cozumel, when we walked through there briefly after dinner.
You mean when we were all going to be electrocuted?
Was it that night?
I think
was
so.
Was that Cozumel?
I think it was.
I know we made a comment going, oh, the pool and hot tub are open now. But we were so tired that we just kind of went back and chilled in the room the rest of the evening. But that excursion in Cozumel was fun.
Oh,
it was fun.
Yeah,
it was really fun. I don't know if you've done that before it's the Sea Trek one. You're about 25 feet deep in the ocean, walking on the ocean floor. You've got one of those like heavy duty dive helmets on, and it's got an air hose that runs up to the surface and just pumping air in the whole time. And you just walk around on the bottom. They have this rope course kind of laid out for you, and they're taking video and pictures and stuff like that. It was probably about 45 minutes of being down under the water. It was fun. I'm glad we did that.
It was kind of like all the best things about the original Iron Lung kind of
Yeah, yeah.
structure of a diver's, you know, capability and so on
Yep.
and so forth, meshed with really new kind of technology and understanding, and
But
without having to depend on a tank of oxygen to breathe through,
right,
which
exactly.
is what I can't do.
And then when that part was over, you still had time there. It was at Genie's, I believe it was called. And we both got Genie or Genio, and we both got 2 drinks included in the price. The transportation to and from was included. Now you can also eat there if you want it, but that was at your own expense.
They took amazing video.
Yeah, they did.
Really, I mean, amazing video, amazing pictures. They made sure that throughout the entire thing that somebody was getting each of us, somebody was getting us as couples too, like
Yep.
for each of the groups. That I didn't expect to be entertained. I didn't expect to be doing the Macarena,
The Macarena.
the Macarena underwater, and my dumb butt didn't even realize what we were doing about halfway through without the music.
And I've got the camera on my left arm, so I'm doing everything with one hand.
Well, what's funny is when it comes on when we're dancing, I'm like, oh, I don't do the Macarena, and I wander away because I'm thinking, oh, I don't do it. It's too complicated for some reason in my head. But yet, when there's somebody in front of me doing it, it's like the simplest, most basic thing to follow, and without somebody giving me the music to trigger my brain to go, oh, it's the Macarena. Yep, I had no problem. It was nice and simple.
Yeah, and the divers that were taking care of you and
They were
making
so
sure
cool.
they were
Yeah.
very good. Yeah, they were looking out for your safety
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And
Lots of tricks. Made you feel good when you did
Yep.
silly stuff right.
Yeah, very cool. I think that's going to about do it for us for tonight. For everybody who's tuned in, we appreciate it. Lucky, thank you. It was nice meeting you and shaking hands with you. Hopefully, we'll see you again. Remember, like I said, if you're interested, make sure you check out our Facebook page for the group cruise we got coming up in August of 2026. We're really looking forward to that one as well. But in the meantime, we're gonna start getting ready for our cruise in 2 weeks. Yep, we're gonna be on the Carnival Jubilee. We're looking forward to that one as well.
Very much.
Got a lot of events planned for that one. So we've got a lot of prep work to do.
It's my little teacher school year stuff started with
Yep.
the door
Yep.
contest and everything.
I can check in tonight at midnight, so I'll be up for a little while. So we've got another live scheduled for Sunday night. So if you guys are interested in tuning in for that one will be all about the pre-cruise for the Jubilee. So hopefully we get a pretty good turnout for that one. And if you're interested in hearing anything about that one, you're more than welcome to stop by and check us out for that night too.
We'd love to have you just because it's nice once we get to know people and we can match online with faces and shaking hands and getting to know people. It's just kind of cool to then bump into them again online. And as we do that, I'm going, Rebecca, you're not in front of the microphone.
As always. All right, thanks guys. We're gonna. Oh, wait a minute. What do we got here? Oh,
they can't make the August cruise, but
they did that several years ago. Okay, and then can't make the August one. They're booked. Oh, okay. That's cool. Awesome.
June 11th. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's similar time.
That's early season, so the weather should be pretty
is it less
pretty prime for that one.
Or is it,
I don't think it's ever less humid, is it? I mean, there should be less storm activity in the beginning of June.
I mean, we were in the Caribbean in February or early March. It was nowhere near the June.
That's true, and the water was actually kind of cold.
Right?
Wow. Yeah. You thought the same
But June
thing.
11th, I mean, that's just a couple weeks off.
Yeah, yeah.
where we were technically.
Good. I hope you guys have a great time on
Yeah,
that one.
absolutely.
Hopefully they'll have a lot of improvements done by then. Maybe an app. Who knows?
Yeah, that would be
Uh,
great just to hear how things have changed
yeah,
since.
and we're gonna have routine updates on the channel and stuff like that because I attend the monthly
So,
seminar with
right.
them
Yeah.
online, so they're always updating, and we like to make the update announcements in the Margaritaville Sea Islander fan page. So if you might be already a member of that one, but if you need access to that, let me know. I am a moderator in that account. But I think that's it.
Good.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you for
Um,
joining us, Lucky.
yep. And should we say it? Till next time. Seize the day.
Can't keep up with your
I know. Thanks. Thanks, Lucky.